I want you guys to feel the bony landmarks, and I would like for you guys to draw. First I'm gonna work on her. You can do a little bit of stretches, like I was showing on the video. You want to separate the fibers a little bit, do a little bit of stretching. If your client feels comfortable, if you have a male, you can use the heel of your hand and just push away and hold here at the coracoid process. Do some skin rolling. The pec minor is underneath the pec major. The pec major is the one that forms the axilla. So this little fold that you see right here, that forms the axilla, that's the pec major. Okay, this is the pec major. So you kind of want to go like rest their arm. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on her now. You can rest your arm, just so that I can work it a little bit. So you want to go underneath sometimes, grasp the pec major, and a lot of times to get to the origin, you just let me work. Look, you're holding your arm up by yourself. Relax. There you go. So you can put their arm in a Y position, and once you've put a little bit of oil, you can go underneath the pec major to get to some of those insertions, maybe with your fingers, but you want to be real careful. This is a area that doesn't get touched very much, so you don't want to go in there digging really deep. So you want to be careful, and so you can go underneath the pec major and try to put your fingers in there. A lot of times they're very tender. You can go over the pec major and press, and you can also get the origin, the insertion right here at the coracoid process. So you've got several options to work this. You can go, I like to use my thumbs or my fingers, 1-inch strips, and she's got something right there. I really feel that right there. Is that tight on you? Yeah, she's got a really tight area here. You've got 3 insertions right here on the coracoid process, which is the pec minor, the short head of the biceps. So the biceps, one of the heads of the biceps is right here, and the coracobrachialis. So you've got 3 insertions right here, okay? So you want to work it real gentle, in a circular motion. Do 1-inch strips right here. I like to do, remember, you can go the way the fibers of the muscle go, but it's also good to go cross fiber, because you get more of blood flow, and you kind of separate the fibers a little bit more. So you can do that one here. All I'm doing is, just grasping, trying to support her scapula too. Because remember, this also helps the scapula protract. One of the things, while I'm here, I'm going to show you how to work the subscapularis, which is you put their arm in a high position, and then with my left arm, I'm grabbing the medial part of her scapula, and I'm pulling it out. That's all I'm doing, pulling it out. Can you see how she's moving? I'm doing that by pulling it out. So that brings the scapula out, and with her cupping her hand, cupping her breast, I can go ahead and work the subscapularis. And I always say that, forgive me if I'm going to get into other muscles, but while I'm here and I see it, I want to be able to show you guys. You want to make sure that you have short nails, and you can also do it over the sheet, to really work the subscapularis, and that's the one that's on the anterior part of the scapula. And the pec major is the anterior fold of the axilla. The posterior is the latissimus dorsi. So the latissimus dorsi forms the axilla on the back, and on the front is the pec major. So these are just some ways that you can get to the pec minor and work them out, especially on people that work out and do bench presses. This is really tight, it gets tight. So you want to make sure and work that muscle. So your pec minor, remember, is in the front, and it's known as a nerve entrapper. So now let's, the serratus. Is it okay if I show them the serratus on you? Yeah, okay. So she's going to be covered, so you hold yourself right there. And what I want to do here is tuck the sheet at the waist. You don't want to go by her private parts, you want to tuck in at the waist, and the serratus comes out through ribs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the serratus looks like a serrated knife, and it comes this way. You know. Okay. Let's just pretend like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is the serratus, and then it inserts where the scapula is, like right, her scapula, the lower part, the inferior part of the scapula. So, and it starts closer. So this is the serratus here, and it inserts, you know, all comes up and inserts right here. So you want to make sure and at least palpate that, you know, and work it out. If somebody is having problems, you know, like if I had a client the other day, I'm really going to mess this up because now I'm going to put oil and it's going to rub all off. But, you know, I had a client recently that she went to the gym, and she says that her and her husband were punching, and she goes, oh, you know, and I knew right away when she told me we were punching, I knew right away it was a serratus. So I went right to it. You know, you can, excuse me, you can support your client's arm or put a little pillow here so it's not, you know, too hyperextended, but you can really work the serratus here, you know, and you can go in between each costal right here with your fingers. You know, you can try to palpate and be gentle. And like I said, if you have somebody that's really shy, or, you know, that it's a new client and they don't feel comfortable, I've gotten all kinds of people throughout my practice, some that are shy, some that are already undressing even before you leave the room, that are not shy. So always keep mindful of how your client feels. You know, some people are, you know, believe it or not, you know, are not as comfortable, and some are. So, you know, you can do it from, actually you can do it better from a standing position. You hold their hand, bend it Sorry.
She was recording.
I'm sorry. She just saw my butt.
I got a good shot.
So I got nothing there. So, but anyway, you can really work the serratus right here. You know, just move down, you know, or back up this way. You know, I like to do it like a serrated knife with my fingers and really get in between all the intercostals. And at the same time, you're getting the lat. This is another great one. You hold their arm, you know, because if you stretch the arm too much, it stretches the fibers. But if you put the arm right here flexed, it loosens the fibers. Anytime you want to put a muscle in traction or to shorten it or lengthen it, think of like, okay, if it's flexing, it's short. If it's, you know, extending, it's long. So you can figure out, you want to work fibers both ways to get it to loose. And you want to work the origin, the insertion, and the belly. You know, not just the origin, you know, like the origin of the pec minor, and not, I mean, the insertion and the origins, you know, on the ribs. You want to work the origins, insertions, and the belly. You know, so the belly you can grasp too. But here's another really good way to get the serratus anterior. You know, so. And I always like to assist the arm. You know, you never want to let their arm plop. But okay, so now do we have something for the headrest so we can flip her over?
Right